welcome to the Pastor Study. My name is Ray Bertolette, and I'm just delighted that you could stop by today. We're concluding today in Proverbs chapter 30, and here in the last two verses of this chapter, Agur writes for us. He says, "If you have been foolish in exalting yourself, and if you've plotted evil, put your hand on your mouth." Sometimes we say things and do things and act in a certain way that here is described as being foolish. We've lifted ourselves up. We've been cocky. We've been arrogant. We've said more than we've ever should have said, and we've planned more than we've ever should have planned. And here he's saying, you know what? You need to stop it. And not just a physical putting your hand over your mouth. We do that with our kids, when we don't want them to talk. We put the hand over to get them to be quiet. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't, because they make muttling sounds and sometimes want to scream louder. And we have to sometimes take them aside and explain to them what we're after. But here God is saying, you know what? It's time to put an end to this foolishness. It's a time to put an end to your arrogance. Who do you think you are? Put your hand over your mouth. Be silent. He says, if you churn butter, if you take milk, I should say, and you churn it, guess what happens? You take whole milk, you take milk in its natural form, and you stir it, and by churning it, guess what happens? It changes butter to butter. You create butter. You produce butter. And you know what? You say too many words and you create a problem. And he said, so the churning of anger. Guess what happens? It says it produces strife and brings about a bloody nose. Strife, because we've stirred the pot of anger, kept kicking at something, kept poking at someone, kept stirring that pot of frustration and anger, and someone lashes out and someone gets a bloody nose. These things should not be a part of our life. And here Agur says, he starts this section and he says, put a hand over your mouth. Well, put an end to it. Put an end to striving after anger. Till next time in the Pastor's Study, goodbye, and may God bless.